This is you. What are your keywords? And then usually the stuff. We'll talk about keywords in a minute. Before I get to that, let's bring through some social things first. Everybody, I saw a good amount on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. How many on Facebook, left hand, for their business? Up their business on Facebook? Right. You know, I almost say sometimes, why not? YouTube, Foursquare. Anybody on Foursquare? How many people have an establishment where people walk through your door? Anybody? No? Okay, so we have a couple, right? They come through your door. Foursquare would be a great place, and so would a picture of Facebook. Check in here to learn more, or maybe you're doing an offer or a prize, right? Foursquare was one of those check-in things, and the reason why it didn't become even more successful, I don't think, is anybody know why? This is how one technology killed the other. Go ahead.
My name's Jacqueline. I'm with Ivy Tech. With Foursquare, I would think would be a safety thing. You don't want people to know where you are at all times.
No, when I check in on Foursquare, you know where I am. That's the whole point.
Right, but in the U.S., why it wasn't taking it off more? That was...
Yeah, it did take off, but it kind of got followed by another technology. What other technology? You all know. Facebook. Go ahead. Facebook. Why?
They have check-in.
They have check-in now, right? So not that you have to tell everybody. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Right? So Foursquare was doing pretty good as this check-in thing, and everybody's, if you don't want to check in and tell people you have, then don't check in, right? It's almost like the people say, everybody can see what I'm doing in my personal life. Well, sometimes they tell you, like, what are you putting up there in your personal life that you wouldn't want someone to see? Anything you put on the internet, we all know, it's not a good idea to just put it on the internet if you don't want anybody to see it. Is that correct, John? That's very good. Anthony Weiner knows this. Now, that really just came to me because I watched the thing on TV last night. I go, are you kidding me? But if you didn't watch it, you'll see a new update on how it all happened again. But Foursquare, I just bring that up as, here's the example. Here's the reason why. Because technology tomorrow can change, and one of these things might not be there. That doesn't mean we shouldn't focus on it. And then we talked a little bit about Snapchat and Vines. The Snapchat thing, you take a picture, by the way, here's how it works. It's an application that you can download. And you can take a picture and set a time to live. I don't think it says that, but that's my phone. And when I send it to you, Snapchat, we're friends, Snapchat, you can look at it, and in a matter of seconds, it goes away and it's deleted forever. All right? However, if I take a picture of it while it's running, I can save the picture, and then it notifies, if John sent me the Snapchat, it notifies him, John took a picture of that Snapchat. Now, I'm still trying to figure out the marketing application there, but the kids love it. So the sooner we can think of a way to get in the Snapchat world, it might be something that works. In the Vines thing, I think I told you this. Is it called the GoPro head cams? They're using Vines. They're a pretty good example. And all it is really just a video that just loops and shows the thing over and over again. You'd be amazed how creative the younger generation is with these two applications. I mean, they're making videos that are unbelievable. Sometimes they're of me, and I said, look, if you do that one more time, or you're out on driving, because maybe we actually, I wasn't the most exciting guy in the world, and I was, giving a little education class, those girls with their car. He takes a video, throws it up on Snapchat, shares it with his friends, and it's a Vines video, like, nothing else. But it's amazing how creative they can be. And for those folks that reach that target audience, you might want to think about it. I love LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. If you're not getting the results from LinkedIn, you need to engage and be interactive. How many people posted something on LinkedIn this morning as part of their strategy? All right, very good, John. How come you did?
Actually, I didn't. I'm John Zarcy with Lincoln Frederick.
All right, great.
I didn't post anything, but I went through and looked at everything my customers posted or my clients. I basically just went through and liked everything that they did, and it kind of goes out to my network.
Everybody, people say, I don't use LinkedIn that much. He looked at all of his customers that were connected to him, saw what they were posting, and liked them. He listened online, and then he engaged. Does that make sense? I want you to think of LinkedIn, or think of doing things on LinkedIn with your morning coffee, or whatever you do in the morning. When you get in the office or before the office, I'm going to spend 10 minutes, and I'm going to do things like that, and you'll see better results. Now, the other thing I would add in LinkedIn is a tip, because these are some tips I'm going through here, is Make sure you have a strategy to post information that is relevant to them. Content that is relevant to them. Make sure that your profile is up to date, right? And you also can make it active, because every time you update your page, your LinkedIn members actually get notified. Well, they get notified not by getting a big, hey, John just said that he graduated on this day, but you can see that I've updated. It'll give you a message. I also could put my company page. Everybody have a company page on LinkedIn? Everybody's nodding their head, right? You couldn't do this 5 years ago, right? So a lot of folks are still behind the times here. You can actually embed some of the stuff from your corporate site into your company page. Did you know that? Right, so that's another tip in LinkedIn. Now the reason I'm bringing you through this, because this is all content at some level. Facebook. So here's Mossberg, right? Facebook is made to be changed. Our top banner can be changed. Another thing, that's a tip on Facebook. Utilize your messaging. Make sure you have a strategy of when you're going to post things or what you're going to post, if you're not doing that today. Does anybody do Facebook advertising here? All right, great. You got, oh, look at this. Who wants? All right, who wants to tell me? All right, so you already answered one. I forget the name of your school. Okay, we're going to have her answer behind. How's that?
I'm Lauren Carson from Boynton Youngblue, and we do Facebook ads internally and then for clients.
How do they work out?
We do like a blended campaign of cost per impression and cost per clicks, both through speed and right side ads.
Is it working?
Yeah, it saves a lot of clicks and stuff.
All right, now, back to you in the front. We have a whole different audience, right? How is your Facebook advertising? What do you use it for first? Give me an example.
We use it kind of for short, focused campaigns. We have a whole network of satellite campuses, and one of them, say our little campus is doing an information session on an engineering degree. We'll do a little campaign promoting that event, and we can geo-target, target by age and all that, to try to drive some traffic to that. Right now, we're doing a small campaign within like 25 or 50 mile radius of Fort Wayne, try to get kids who graduated in June but still don't know where they're going to college to kind of sit
Love
down
that.
and
And that's why I had her tell you and then you in the school environment, because it can be very effective. It depends on your business, right? But you can do a radius search, you can budget. You can also do this on LinkedIn, right? You can do advertising on LinkedIn. I'm not saying go do this for your business. I'm just saying that it can be very effective. We did a very effective campaign for the American Heart Association with something called Train to End Stroke. And it was really about getting runners to this marathon that was in California, which wasn't too hard to get them to go there, right? Plus they got funded a little bit by this whole campaign. But it's easy to find runners, right, that match up with Facebook, right? So anyways, I'm just telling you some other tips that you can do there. Anybody do Facebook contests here? Right? Do you use any of these applications, third-party apps? You know that you just can't do Facebook contests without having some third-party app. If they find out, they'll, right? So, and I'm not saying do that. I just want to show you there's some things here. We're going to give you, by the way, this presentation. We'll make sure that everybody gets a copy of this, so you don't need to memorize all these things. But they can be very effective. I like campaigns, contests as part of maybe the application I'm doing. How about Twitter? Right? So I asked how many folks are on Twitter. Some tips on Twitter is make sure you have a good bio filled out, because that way people can find you when they search, right? And does anybody ever use the advanced search feature on Twitter? Anyone? All right, good. So I got one on this head back there. I think it's the most powerful thing around, because I'll have my sales rep say, well, how am I supposed to find all these people on Twitter? I'll show you in 2 seconds how easy it is by using the advanced search. But the other tip is, even on your company page, right? I like when we have, for the branding folks in here, you know where I'm coming from, right? We shouldn't have one thing that looks totally different than the other, right? Some kind of flow here. In the Twitter advanced search, there's a URL. I can actually log in here as long as when you set up your Twitter profile, Jim and Rhonda, that we actually put our bio right. I can do a 50-mile radius search for every director of marketing, and it'll come back with all those people. A lot faster than I get it from Hoover's or D&B, right, down in Bradstreet, or buying a data list. And plus, I can listen to them online, right, John? See, he was reading this one. It's okay.